Good morning, everyone. I'm not sure. Oh, there's Eric. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up today or not.
This is May 7th,
Yeah, what's good?
2023. Okay, so
What's going on, sir?
Oh, not much. Just doing some work, a little bit of work today.
Okay.
Everybody's out of the office.
Yeah, it's state holiday. State
Oh,
holiday. So I do have we'll probably have an abbreviated meeting. I do have a friend of mine who's gonna kind of share a little bit of his story, his reentry story, and talk about this project he's doing. I'm just kind of waiting for him to get on. And then we do have presenters for the next 2 months after this.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, I knew it would be kind of limited today because of the state holiday, and I think everybody was kind of saying that last month were unsure if they would even be available today. How are you doing, Jim Murray?
I'm hanging in there, man. How you doing?
Oh, about the same. Getting ready for this. I'm taking off till next Thursday, so I'm gonna enjoy this little mini vacay that I got.
Yeah, enjoy, buddy. We all need it. So
That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of my temporary presenter, I guess. Hold on. So, what is this read AI meeting notes?
I'm guessing it's someone that's like maybe recording it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it comes with our system for some reason. We can deny it when we use Teams, but anything else it gives us notes. I believe the host of the meeting can kick them out.
Is it just like an AI bot that's taking note? Okay.
Yeah.
Second. All right, I think he's on. He should be under iPhone. His name is Anthony Ross. Can you hear us, Tony? Can we hear you?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, awesome. So I'll give you just a quick rundown. This is a monthly reentry council meeting. It's kind of a down day because a lot of state agencies are closed as they were given a holiday by the governor. So it's going to be abbreviated anyway. The next 2 months we'll have full presenters. Should be a more full of a meeting. So I've asked Tony to get on to kind of tell us a little bit about his story with reentry, and then I'm going to let him discuss, some plans he has, and if you guys have any questions or if you can offer any suggestions in what he's trying to do, I'm sure he'd be more than grateful. So anyway, Tony, I'll give you the floor and let you give your little story, pertaining to reentry and
All right.
go from there. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. My name is Anthony Ross. I am 50 years old. I was a drug addict for well over 30 years. 2.5 years of my life, I went through complete and utterly torture. I had stepped out of my marriage of 7 years and dug a hole in the methamphetamine with my best friend of 21 years. She stepped out of her marriage. We had a son. I was involved in a lot of domestic abuse, a lot of psychological abuse, got beat pretty good several times, got put in the hospital, continued to use and tried to think I could fix her at the same time. But obviously that didn't work. On September the 6th, we had our son on March the 10th of 2024. And in September the 6th, she put me in a hospital. The cops gave me custody of my son, but not knowing that she had removed my name off the birth certificate as said father before we had left the hospital, at which time in the state of West Virginia, you're kidnapping. So I was called and told to bring my son back to the courthouse immediately. So I did. At that time, I went hard into addiction, dug into a hole, ended up reaching out on September the 13th after my oldest son, which is 24. I watched him accidentally run over my dog and killed him in front of me, and I completely lost my mind. I had been using for over a week at that time, hadn't slept, and I completely ended up in a hospital. Tried to kill my oldest son. I just completely lost it. The addiction was unbearable. So when I came to, my parents were taking me to Grant Memorial Hospital in Petersburg. From there, I seeked God. I had to find something to heal me and to help me, because I knew that if not, I was going to end my life. I reached out after going to jail for butt dialing in Hardy County, inadvertently dialing, but it was breaking the law. So I pleaded guilty to it. I did 60 days. State of West Virginia, you get day for day, so I had to serve 30 days for that. And while in there, I reached out to Eric Bukowski and Catherine Richardson for help. Pastor DJ Taylor, who pastors at Walnut Grove Church in Moorfield, I reached out to him because I had met him previously. When I got out, I wanted to go into treatment. We tried to go to treatment prior to releasing me, but Hardy County was not going to deal with it at all. They wanted me to serve my time. When I got out, I was already clean from obviously sitting in jail, and it was extremely hard for me to go to treatment, but they worked a lot of strings. We did an intake, and they actually accepted my intake while I was in jail, which at which time I was clean, but I had used within 30 days. And the thing with the programs is for people that need and are begging to go to treatment. I feel that if you're already clean and if you haven't used within a week, you're not going to get accepted, But I am now over 10 months clean. I have gotten certificates from the Secretary of the State of West Virginia. I am opening a transitional home. It's like a sober living house in Hardy County. I went in front of the county commissioners and got the approval of everything. And I'm a full-time college student trying to earn a bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm in my full term of semester for summer. I finished last year with a 3.79 GPA. But as far as the guild, I went there for all of my services. Without the guild, I would have never made it. You know, they really made a big difference in my recovery. But I do need a lot of my sober living home is a long road to go. But at least I have the big step. I have my first donation of $27.75 that will be coming from a group that was in front of the commission, also at the same time I was, that absolutely loved my idea, loved my vision, my mission, and donated the whole $27.75, which would that take to get my 501c3 paperwork from the IRS. I'm going to be going more or less door to door, business to business. I want to start with a men's unit because obviously we can't house men and women in the same unit. And if this goes well, which I pray to God it does, I would like to start a women's facility, you know, because we do have women that also need help. Hardy County is, and it's not just Hardy County, but every county needs places like this. You know, if there would have been more of this while I was using, at the same time I was homeless, I probably would have went to treatment a little earlier. But unfortunately, there wasn't. So I had to live in the street, live in my vehicle, whatever it took. But I'm going to continue pushing forward with my bachelor's degree, with opening this sober living. After my 501c3 is back from the IRS, I then go back in front of the county commissioners in regards to a actual location. There is a couple of locations that I have. Some of them cost a good bit of money to rent or to purchase, but the county also has locations and availability that are empty spaces that are beautiful homes. So I'm working actually with them in order to rent one of them. But the only thing with that is they're short term, you know, 5 years. And I am trying to build this for a permanent service. You know, so every person that is in recovery, that is fighting addiction, has a safe place, drug-free, violent-free, drama-free facility to go to, you know, to get back up on their feet instead of giving handouts, giving them a hand up, and, you know, get their life back in order the way it should be. You know, give them something that was given to me, which is a second chance in life. Support, recognition, advice, anything moving forward. I do have my bank accounts opened up through, you know, our local bank in Moorefield, West Virginia, which is Cape Valley Bank. I'm going to be going trying to do fundraisers, grants, and working actually with the guild now to try to maybe get some grant courses through Jobs for Hope. I'm also facing legal issues still, just little misdemeanor, simple things, but there's still legal issues. Working on trying to get some other stuff taken care of that is a CPS case. But I got a long road ahead, but I'm not going to let nothing break me, and I'll never go back to the life that I had. And with the support of the guild and everybody else, I know that I can do it. That's pretty much my story. I appreciate you all letting me talk and everything. And like I said, I'm open to any support, any kind of advice on going forward, anything. Anybody have any questions or reach out? It'd be great.
If I could, because you said you opened your own sober living home. How did you go about doing that? Could you send me information on that?
Started out as just a vision, you know, that when I went to rehab, our church I knew that there was a serious issue in our county. I've known it, fighting the addiction, that there's nowhere for nobody to go. If you want to get clean, you've got to go hours away. So I went to our county commissioner, Stephen Seatram, just a one-on-one, not publicized, sat down, and me and him had a long conversation. And at that time, I earned his support and approval. And at that point, I continued to work on it. That was back in January. I got out of treatment on December the 5th. And as soon as my feet hit the ground running, I knew what I was sent here to do. And this is what I wanted to do. I hand-selected a board of people that share the same vision, that has dealt with addiction or any of the sort. I had a meeting of those people and told them what I wanted to do and just built it from the ground up. I started with that. We put bylaws together. We actually accepted them and voted on them, and went back in front of the county commissioner, got the approval of all three of them guys. They actually gave me great advice of different grants and things that I would be eligible for through the opioid foundation money, or lawsuit money, however you want to say it, and just continued on. Did a lot of research. I might have a vision, and I guess they called me the founder of the House of Grace, Inc. Grace spelled Grayse. My son's name is Grayson, so he's the reason that I did this. But it was a lot of research. I'm not the most intelligent man, but I knew what I needed to do. And so I also got a book, Robert's Laws of How to Run a Meeting. So it was just built all from ground up in Googling, and a lot of support and asking questions.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I really thank you, Tony, for sharing that. And like I told you the other day, I just encourage you, just don't give up. If you have a vision, just chase it, and you'll get there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's like I told you, and I've told everybody else, there's nothing that's ever going to break me or make me ever go back to a life of addiction. And if I can, I know, I've taken 2 people to treatment already, and one of them got released yesterday after being in there for 8 months, and it's been absolutely amazing. He went in paralyzed, and he's walking now. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure everybody that fights the addiction has a second chance like I did. A support system that cannot be broken.
That's wonderful. Mr. Murray, do you have any advice for Mr. Ross in regards to that?
As far as the recovery house, I worked at one years ago, the Allegheny House here in Cumberland. And we had some pretty stringent rules that men had to follow by, but it was co-ed at the time too. But there was pretty stringent rules, and one of the main rules is you use your out. Anything, you come back with anything in your system. We had random urinalysis tests.
Absolutely.
We had, and it wasn't a, okay, we're going to give you a chance kind of thing. It was, you got to pack your stuff and go, because other people here are in recovery and we don't want to set them off. And that was kind of how it was. And usually when we got one, we'd usually get 2 or 3 others. Found out that was going on in the house, that we clear out, reload, and then go from there, and just let everybody know on a daily basis. You're subject to any kind of a urine screen at any time that we think. So that's my experience of working in a recovery atmosphere. I worked there for 1.5 years in 2008, 2009, and it was an experience, but it got me into what I'm doing now, and it really made me want to kind of help in the beginning more than right afterwards, right after treatment, and the beginning, real beginning, when we get back out of a treatment center and we start trying to put a way of life together that's recovery based. So
Yep.
yeah, and it's a lot of work trying to get all that stuff done. So I just wish you best of luck.
I appreciate you very much, sir.
Jim,
I know
sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
we have also put in our house rules and everything, and that is during our first initial intake. There will be obviously drug testing, and there'll be no mat. I hate to discriminate, but I'm not educationally background to do that or any of the sort. And to me, sober living is sober, 100% sober. And we will continue doing drug screening. Our program, I still need to get some different things in line. Like 21 days or somewhere in the nature of, because if you want it, you're gonna want it bad enough that 21 days you should have a job. We're going to have transportation to provide for them. So if they don't, after 21 days, and obviously they don't want it bad enough, is the way I look at it.
Yeah, the only other thing I see you maybe having an issue with is medication management, not even MAT medications, but psych medications. So we had to, like at the house, we had to do a psych med count every night for every person that was in there. We couldn't give them their medications. We could only observe because we weren't a nurse or a doctor to be able to even do that. So that could be another challenge you might end up facing with that. So there's a lot more involved right now. I'm getting ready to be off for 3 days. My brain's not working great. So trying to just get through the day, but you can reach out to myself or Shalyn here, because I know she's been involved with houses in the past too. So and just if you need to bounce anything off of us, we left our emails in there. You can just hit us up. That would be great.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, if you guys had contact info and stuff that I could receive off you all.
Yeah, we put it in the meeting notes. So
okay, all right, awesome. And I'm also driving. I'm on my way to Missouri, so sorry about the phone business. I planned on being on the laptop, but after I got this long weekend, I decided to come back up here to the hunting lodge where I used to guide at, get some of my belongings.
So, Jim, would you recommend, I don't know how that sober living house you worked at was set up, but would you recommend like somebody would come out of like an inpatient treatment right into your house?
Yeah, and that wasn't really a sober living. It was a halfway house. Which you can go, because we do have a sober living house here in Cumberland also, besides the Allegheny house, which is a halfway house. And for the sober living house, they recommend that somebody went right from treatment right there, right from the jail system right there. That way there's no, in between stop offs. We don't know what can happen. And that's how it was at the halfway house. The halfway house, they would usually get a transport from wherever they were in treatment right to the house. Very seldom that we take any outside outside referrals, where we just have people come in and say, I want to get in the halfway house. What do I have to do? Without them being monitored either through IOP with, making sure they're not in current use or haven't been in current use for the last month, or coming directly from a treatment center. So.
Very
Appreciate
helpful.
your
Thank
all.
you, sir. Did you say something, Tony? You're kind of like in and out of.
Yeah, I know, and I apologize. I said I thank you all, and I appreciate you very much for all the advice.
Sure, absolutely. You have a vision. I'd love to see you fulfill that vision.
Absolutely.
Me too. I'm excited for it.
Well, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
It's going to be, I still got a long road ahead. I really really am hoping that everything goes, smoothly and can be opened, come spring. If not before, as long as if I can obtain a facility where I do not have to do any work and the house is already set, then that will be, almost bulletproof as far as opening. But if I have to do a lot of construction work and stuff, it's going to hinder time wise. But am I still cutting out?
No, you're good. I believe on my end you are.
All right.
Are you going to support any form of, are you going to support like Vivitrol?
I could transport it. I guess there's a clinic in town there that can do it.
Okay. I know the guild does that. I don't know if you could partner with, an IOP,
Yes.
like the guild or another agency.
And that's what I really, like we talked the other day, I would love to partner up with the guild and, in reference to the coaching, to anything else that I need that I cannot provide, and I 100% provide the transportation to the guild for any resident, to continue their recovery, whatever it takes.
Okay, that's awesome. That's good stuff, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hold on one second. Gotcha. Okay, I'm probably gonna suggest just doing an abbreviated meeting since we do have 2 full presenters the next couple of months. Does anyone else have any other updates from anything new with AHEC? Did you guys branch out this way yet, Mineral County?
No, we haven't. The grants for Mineral County started July 1st, so hopefully with the next upcoming weeks and some new hires, we can get up there.
Well, you've had the grant money for 2 days. You haven't done anything. Yeah, I think Melissa's gonna present maybe even next month and hopefully provide any updates, just any insight to what you guys have done in July. That's awesome. We're excited to have you over here across the state line.
Yeah, we're excited also.
Good.
Yeah, I got some jail numbers from Allegheny and Garrett if you want them.
Sure. What do you got?
So we had 540 encounters with people in the Allegheny County Courts jail system, 82 in Garrett County jail system. We had 160 pretrial encounters with Allegheny County Sheriff's Department court system and 9 in Garrett County. So we've been staying pretty busy. It's not slowing down, and that's a good thing, but it's still, it's part of our job to go into the jails and talk with people, get them set up to succeed when they get out. And we don't handle any of the reentry needs there in AC or Garrett County. While they're in there, we are more there for support groups, and we do 3 groups a week there, and just try to get some rapport with people so we can, when they get out, they do know someone in recovery that they can reach out to, And my biggest thing every time I go in there and I talk to gentlemen in there, my biggest thing to tell them is, you don't ever have to go through this again. Let's try to get a plan. Let's try to get this set up. You're given the opportunity here, and when you get out, life's going to change immensely. But so is, the freedom gives us freedom to do what we want. So let's try to make the right decisions when we get out, and get in touch with us, and we'll try to reach out to them. And we're still having issues with finding people after they leave because of changing phone numbers, changing addresses. The people that we get into treatment or go from the jail to treatment. Some of them stay downstate and we lose total contact with them. And there's just no way to really follow up on them, even though we're in contact with the recovery places that we send them to. A lot of times they won't give us all the information. They're like, you're not signed off, and we don't have a release for you all. So we're battling that part when it comes to post follow up people that are out, but that's an ongoing issue. We're trying to find better ways to be able to do that. So
Can you
if
get a
there's any
release
help out
signed?
there.
Can you get a release while they're incarcerated? That's what we do. So that way when they're
Yeah.
released, we have their file, and because
Yeah.
we run into that a lot. If we've built a good relationship with a treatment center, they don't even ask. But if it's someone we rarely deal with, I mean, we get stopped right there. Hey, no release. We can neither confirm nor deny anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a pretty smooth way of doing it with the counselor. We just send her the release, once, twice a week. She'll go back, have them all sign it, send it back, and then we have that on file.
Yeah, we have the releases signed and everything, which is great. And we just started putting out with the jail people that are going, since they're going through the jail, not through us for the referral, we're signed off on their releases too. So we're getting a little bit better with that. Our problem is, a lot of the places that these people are being sent to, there are so many different places in Maryland we send them. So, if they're familiar with us, like the Mass Unit, True Healings, Arenda Center, everything's pretty good with them. If it's Right Turn or Pyramid or some of the other ones downstate even farther, like, we've never heard of you, so we'll have to look this up. Then you don't get a call back, and then you keep calling, and it's like, oh, we haven't gotten in touch with you yet. We're still looking. And the next thing you know, they're gone, and they're not going to give any information after they're gone anyway. So,
Right. Sure.
yeah.
I understand. Well, it's a work in progress. Just something to keep trying to streamline that process. Hey, do you know does Maryland have the equivalent of a Medicaid navigator like West Virginia has?
Yeah, AHEC actually does health insurance navigation over here in Maryland too. So a lot of the people that come out of the jail system that aren't already, because a lot of times the reentry coordinator there will get them set up with Maryland Medicaid before they're released. Sometimes it doesn't take effect. Sometimes it's needs to be tinkered with once they get out. And one of the big things we always tell people too is, if you're in Cumberland, go to the Possibility Shop. So we have the Possibility Shop downtown, which is kind of like a place for our SSP. It's a place for people needing food, clothes, shelter for 5-15 minutes, get their phones recharged, get their birth certificates, get their social security cards. We do a monthly trip from there to the MVA for IDs. But also when they're in there, they can check on their health insurance, because there's a navigator on staff there that could actually look up and say, well, you're not in here. Let's get this done and get you back into the Medicaid system. So
they can get expedited Medicaid pretty quickly. Okay.
Yeah. From there, if they've had it before and it just needs to be, restarted, that's something we can take care of at the POS shop there. And we're also we're going to have 2 satellite offices also. One in Garrett County, which is open now. It's on Liberty Street in Oakland, and it's open now on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 3:30. And this next week, we're going to open up a small satellite area in Westernport. So we're trying to expand out and at least have opportunities so we can have people have a place to not have to travel super far to get to Cumberland. If they're down in Westernport, there's the transportation around here is horrible. I'm sure you all know how it is with you all. It's the same thing. So we're trying to make it easier for people to be able to get services that way, by having those locations staffed. We just hired a few people too. We're trying to do 5 days a week, at least in Oakland. That's in the works. And Westernport, we're still we're still working on trying to get everything together for that, but we should be there starting next week.
Awesome. Appreciate the update. What all are you branching out into Mineral County for?
That's a good question.
We haven't been told.
No, and it's more, I think, more on just basic peer support in the
Okay.
area in Kaiser, Ridgely, small towns around. We'll be able to do outreach there now, which is good. So we can probably have naloxone training set up. We can do referrals to treatment for people that need it. So we've got a lot more to talk about on it. So more to come on that. And I'm sure Melissa, I think if she's speaking next week on here, she's going to explain everything out for you. So
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys are going to do. And I'm sure we'll be working a lot together, which is awesome. It's good stuff. Miss Jen, any updates from Northwood?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. No updates. We do have beds open at both facilities in Wheeling and also in Weirton. Just once again, I think everybody knows, but we admit for mental health stabilization and also detox. So we can do either or. Yeah, if you have any referrals, we take referrals 24/7 and admissions 24/7.
I sent someone to you guys, I don't know, within a week or two ago, and I forgot to have them send a release. So when I went to check on them yesterday, Northwood would tell me nothing. So, I mean, I get it. I work in this.
Yeah. If you need to know just like about if they were admitted or if they were discharged, let me know. But if you do send someone, let me know if you can, and I will make sure there's a release signed.
Perfect. I normally always, and I forgot. I may reach out to you. I just need to see if you can confirm or deny whether they're there or not, so I know where to look for them.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's continuation of treatment. So just
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. Well, thank you. Thank you so
You're
much. Anyone else? Jay Simmons, any updates?
Not at this time. We're looking to possibly do a West Virginia Reentry Fair in the fall here at FCI Cumberland for the residents we have that are from West Virginia. Right now, we don't have a lot of that, but look at our numbers coming to the fall, and then be reaching out to everybody if we do that.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Keep us posted.
Definitely will. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything else? Anything for Mr. Ross? Any other words of encouragement, advice? Tony, I do encourage you to come back onto these meetings or once a month. It's good stuff. It's re-entry, so you'll learn more about what's available.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. That'll give me a heads up on everything. Keep me posted on all.
Okay. I believe the next 2 months, I think Melissa Clark is next month, I believe. I gotta look. And I think the month following, we're gonna have Nikki Coles from West Virginia Jobs and Hope coming on and giving her pitch. So, all right. Well, if anyone does not have anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and say everyone have a wonderful holiday weekend, and we'll see you next month.
See you, bud.
y'all take care.
Hey, guys.
Nice meeting everybody.
Yep.